Hey everyone, it's Scoopman 5000. We're back for another video, and today we are looking at another studio I haven't looked at before, the Combatants Fight for Glory Hilder. Hilder. We got a buff barbarian lady from Xesray Studio. A lot of hard to pronounce things here. Brand new figure from the Combatants Fight for Glory. I do have some figures from the first set. That was a long time ago now. We're going to be doing some comparison. And this is a exclusive event 2025. What event? I couldn't tell you. I got mine on 5K Toys. But what we have inside is a beautiful buff barbarian babe. So we're going to go ahead, flip the camera around, and take a look at Hilder. And if you notice the bowl of hot water in front of me in the intro, it's called foreshadowing, because today we're bringing back a segment that we call bath time. And I have good reason, because in the first wave, I had a little breakage. I had a little problem because I was trying to do a foot swap, as anyone would, on Tadala specifically. That figure snapped right off the peg. I had to do a hell of a repair job, basically make a new thread, a little nail, and attach the foot. With this figure, you know, if I want to be doing accessories and hand swap, I'm going to have to get a little bath going. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to send Hilder to a nice hot bath. Try to submerge everything we can. And especially those dogs. Alright, hopefully it did not destroy my figure. Look at that. These are real tough, these boot tops. And so this is what we're left with, the base figure of Hilder. And you actually can go even further than this. I'm not gonna, for the sake of this being a YouTube video. But if you're into that, it's all there. All this comes off. But for now, this is the lowest I'll sink in this video, I guess we'll say. I'm sure there's other videos out there and definitely pictures you could find if you're curious about this figure. So we'll do accessories now. I guess the ones I just took off first. That includes an armband, a tooth belt. We got this big loincloth, some classic barbarian gauntlets, some leg thigh meat armor, and as well as some boot tops that go with the swappable, I want to say boots, but even these got the toes out. Then for other accessories, you got grip hands on the figure by default. You can switch those out for some open hands, some splayed out hands, and some fists. And we mentioned the feet already. I'd recommend heating these figures up if you're going to do that. Then we got this big battle axe, two-handed weapon for sure. Then we got a smaller handheld axe. We have a nice sword, and as well as a little knife, and then a scabbard for the sword as well. Finally, we have this helmet, which is very Dragonborn Skyrim iron helmet. And then in this little bag here, we do have a nice big fur coat, big cloth pelt. It does say, please do soft the parts with hot water. And I couldn't agree with that more. This is very soft material. Oh, there's two pieces. So that's what it looks like on the box. But where... doesn't seem right. Oh, there is little clips, or a little, that'll probably clasp right about here. I'll figure this out in the photos, but definitely some unique soft goods here. While we're here, if you did want to see the bio, you could check that out. It's going to be kind of hard to read. This is the Gold Hildr, so I guess there might be another version, a more common one out there. She's a mercenary gladiator, and she is ethnic Germanic. So that's that. I mean, these Xesray figures are very diverse so far. This one's interesting. So that Germanic, you know, the more Euro appearance. But the skin tone here is pretty dark. Or it almost looks like in a cartoon or something, like if it was a lighter person, but at night, I guess, if that makes sense. Her counterpart from the first wave, I would say, is Vlattia. That's her closest resemblance. And you can see that's a much fairer skin tone, and even the hair color. I don't necessarily dislike this. I thought I would, but I like looking at this now. I don't think she's getting much of a tan out in the snow, but definitely different skin tones here. I was going to say the rest of the body is the same, and it certainly is similar in a lot of ways. But I don't know if my eye is being tricked or if these bodies have been reworked a little. Trying to see, like, especially in the abs there. It's different clothing, different armor, so it is hard to tell. Up at the face, I didn't know I'd like it when I was looking at it in the package, but out of the package, I do like it a lot better. Now, comparing it to that first wave of figures, you know, those were more neutral expressions, and I guess here they're trying to be more expressive. She's got more of a frown. Her mouth's a little open. She definitely looks more like Euro, Germanic, like they're saying on the box. She got the strong brow and just the small nose and everything. But it looks good. I mean, and the eye paint is exceptional. And I do like the hair here too. Now, a feature on pretty much all these that I own is that the top portion of the hair comes off. And it looks all right, actually, even just like that. But this is intended for the helmet. And mine was a little warped, but I think I got it better now. And there you can see her with the helmet. It's looking a little claustrophobic in there. But if you do want to pelt this figure up and armor it up, she's going to look like with the helmet. Or if you're into half-naked babes wearing helmets, you also have that option. For the rest of the figure, definitely some stylized proportions. Nice muscly, mommy, barbarian babe figure. But I do think it borders on unrealistic, but I do like the proportions here. They're not too crazy. Let's say compared to something like a loose collector, those are pretty extreme. This is a bit more, I don't want to say toned down, but just more proportional, a little thicker, if you will, in other places, rather than just the bust and the cheeks, of course, which we'll get to. Now, underneath this, you got sculpt, and I think even a little shading. Again, I'm not going to get into that on this video. You're going to have to find that somewhere else. But if you're into that, it's there. I mean, really, at the core of this, you could even remove whatever you see here, and it's a nude base body. Take that information what you will. Can't tell if it's just a nice matte plastic or if there is some shading, but the abs, especially here, definitely looking good. And I think it is just like a nice matte plastic, a nice skin sheen to it. And then even these trunks, let's call them, can be removed. Again, I'm not going to get into that, but it is possible. That was also the case, I think, on Vlattia here. But I'm pretty sure that wasn't the case on Berenice and also Tadala. I don't think you could remove them. And we already brought back one segment, bath time, but now we can also bring back cheek engineering from our Vampirella video, because this follows a similar structure where the cheek is sculpted into the upper leg, and as a result, full range of movement. That was horrifying. The whole figure just came out of the torso. I thought something broke or there's a drop down hip, but I probably just loosened it up too much. Pop back in. All right, but I guess if you really want to play with your figure, that's the purpose of it, right? Get that range of motion. But since that just happened and that popped, I'll probably never do this again. Oh, the figure's falling apart. I guess that's better than it breaking, but still. And then definitely a wide gap on the legs here, and then you can see going down, and I have the bare feet option, but it's going to be about the same looking for the boots, considering those are open-faced as well. Now, for articulation, I'm going to be a little gentle. I did just loosen the figure up, and you saw it pop apart, but I still don't trust it 100%. It's just, you can't trust figures like this compared to something like a Hasbro or whatever. And they're much more expensive to replace when you do force them. So, I mean, head movement, that's looking all right. Upper torso, right? The way this is engineered, it's pretty much all coming from the upper. But it is a nice swivel, nice range of motion there. And even the sculpt looks good, like the ribs and stuff, if you have it all the way up. Not really any gap. Shoulders are like a ball, and then the shoulders cap onto them. So all that's coming from a ball joint and like, I guess, some sort of a hinge. There's no bicep, you can tell right here. And it goes above 90 with the single. It's about as far as I'm comfortable going. On the legs, you saw it kick back already. Forward is a lot easier. And then you can go pretty much, let's say that's 45 degrees, maybe a little higher. Double knee, that's about where I'm comfortable going. You see it was starting to flex there, but that's not terrible. And then the foot is going to do everything you need. Just be careful swapping it again. Hit that with the hot water. And for comparison, let's bring in the Wave 1 figures. Now, they do make male figures as well, but who cares about that? We're here for the muscular barbarian women, and that's what we're getting. So here we have Berenice, who's like the, I guess, Roman, Grecian, sort of olive-skinned character, who I think is getting a redo, and this is definitely my favorite of the Wave 1 figures. And then Tadala as well, the darker skin tone. And we have Vlattia, who is the also, let's say, European representation here. And you can see, again, much lighter skin tone. But this is growing on me. And here she is with some Frazetta Girls figures. I've looked at both of these on the channel. We got Conan the Barbarian, and we got Vampirella, who's very difficult to stand. She does remind me a lot of Conan's counterpart in the movie, on the poster. I mean, not 100%, obviously, but neither is the figure, right? This is based on the artwork, the comic appearance. But these two make a good pair. And then here she is with some Storm Collectibles. This is the Tyris Flare from Golden Axe. And then we got Sheva from Mortal Kombat, who's too big for the screen. But that could be an interesting matchup, right? If she lives in a world like Conan, fighting snake beasts and all that, this Sheva fits right in. And I think she'd go really well with Mythic Legions. I don't really have any traditional Mythic Legions figures. This is like an ogre-sized vampire. I always bring him out when I'm talking fantasy. And I also have this guy, the Figura Obscura Frankenstein, who I think is pretty close to standard Mythic Legion scale. Maybe a little taller, so There you go. And that is going to do it for the Xesray Hilder. Not sure if I pronounced either of those words correctly, but either way, I mean, it's a fun figure, right? I think these type of figures, they border on, from the outside looking in, like it's a degenerate pervert toy, but I think there's more to it, right? It's in that dark fantasy, muscular women, warrior women. Again, like the removable parts, you could do with that what you want. You could choose to leave them on, you could take them off, but I don't think that's necessarily a selling point of these figures as compared to like some other real seedy stuff you can get into. But even that, man, I mean, it's all figures, right? So you guys let me know, though. Am I a degenerate for buying these warrior women from Xesray? You let me know. I'm going to leave it up some pictures, as always. You can check out my library on Instagram, scoopman_5000. I'll see you guys in the next video.